DonInLondon, hello. It's 15th of May. What did I say that for? 15th of August 2009. My video is all about memory lapses and addiction to substance and behaviour. Yeah, just a bit of a memory lapse there. So, addiction to substance and behaviour. My favourite substance of addiction was alcohol, and it took me a long time to realise I was addicted and that life was better without it, or it seems to be, just one day at a time. So what is addiction? It's getting to a place where we depend and actually need a particular substance or a particular behaviour to feel right about ourselves. And normally with addiction, it's all started with take the edge off, feel better, feel joyful, feel life, because somehow we didn't feel it quite the way we thought we ought to feel it. So if in the dim dark days of when we tried something and said to ourselves, that's not good, it's getting in the way of my ability to see what is now, then I guess we would have stopped it. But modern life isn't like that. There's an awful lot going on, pressure, and I used alcohol to take the edge off. In the end, it took the edge off me as a person, as a human being, and set me on a path of self-destruction, self-harm, self-obsession, ego, fear, and putting on a brave face. Well, that's quite a list, isn't it? So how did I get out of it? And I'd love to tell you that no. I'd love to share, maybe, that I did it on my own, that I'm a clever person, I'm intellectually gifted, and I can beat anything in life. And I have the strongest willpower you can possibly imagine. But unfortunately, I'm just a human, and self-will run riot is what happens when we become addicted to either substance or behaviour. And it took me a long time to realise I could not do this on my own. So, with the help of family, community, society, professionals, and a fellowship which keeps me on track on a daily basis, that's Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm able to make each day work as it is. Not to my design, but just as it is. And I rely on fellowship for camaraderie, for friends, and making my life okay, I guess, just one day. And in addition to that, the gift of actually finding sobriety is that we can then make the rest of life work. So if I put in place things which keep my sobriety on track as best I can, merely making progress and never perfect, then the rest of life can work. And I have to work at it. So there's no reprieve in terms of, is life going to get easier? Maybe it does, because we relish what we're up to and we get our choices back. So the gift for me is to be less self-willed, I guess, full of ego and putting on a brave face, because every time I do that, I don't share the truth of me. And if I don't share the truth of me, how on earth will you ever get to know me? So fellowship has taught me this. I knew it before, intellectually, but now emotionally I understand where I am today, what my feelings are telling me, and spiritually I'm right in the moment of now, hopefully, more often than not, and physically I don't crave those other addictive substances or behaviours. So what a transformation, and it only happens a day at a time. We put the effort in, the footwork, and we get along. There is no easy way, I've found, no easier, softer way I've found than to be in good company and fellowship to make my recovery work. In fact, I don't need to make it work, I just experience recovery. So out with the ego, out with the brave face, less fear, find a bit of courage, faith and confidence to make the day work. And so the fellowship of AA helps me do that. And I need to pause, I didn't check the time. I was so eager I didn't check the time. Anyway, I'm okay. So, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, this is a statement of intent, if you like, which is shared at every meeting of AA I go to, and it's called the AA Preamble, and it gets me into the moment of now, more often than not. So it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And you know what? It's amazing, isn't it, that a fellowship which started 70 or 80 years ago is helping to save lives on a daily basis. But it's not the only way to get sober. So it's a path which I tread with, I guess, diligence and due care, and I'm enthusiastic about it. But there are many ways to get sober from just stopping. And hopefully that does the trick, but in my case it didn't, because I was always led back by my self-will, which would give up on me. I'm a very strong-willed, stubborn individual and very defiant, and my defiance is over denial about my addictive condition. So I need to be mindful of where not going to meetings, not being in fellowship might take me. Anyway, I like it, I relish it, I'm a part of something, I'm included, I find love on a daily basis, to love, be loved, and have something useful to do. And part of my usefulness is getting my centre by doing these videos on a daily basis to share experience, strength and hope. And everybody's experience, strength and hope is as good as it need be just for today. So what helps me when I'm on my own are books like this, Daily Reflections, which covers the 12 steps of action to change our attitude and behaviour on a daily basis throughout the year. And it covers the 12 steps of AA, and that is changing attitude and changing behaviour. And the other one I use here is As Bill Sees It. The Daily Reflections has 1 page a day, which is really good. It means you don't have to put too much effort into reading something useful. Or if you don't like this book, there are plenty more Daily Reflections books out there as well. But for today, August 15th, this is what it says. Didn't we hurt anybody? And this is about step 8, where we make a list of people we've harmed and become willing to make amends. So it's actually just making the list. So some of us though tripped over a very different snag. We clung to the claim that when drinking we never hurt anybody but ourselves. This step seems so simple. This is step 8. I identified several people who I had harmed, but they were no longer available. Still, I was uneasy about the step and avoided conversations dealing with it. In time, I learned to investigate those steps and the lorry going past, and areas of my life which made me feel uncomfortable. My search revealed my parents, who had been deeply hurt by my isolation from them, my employer, who worried about my absences, my memory lapses, my temper, and the friends I had shunned without explanation. As I faced the reality of the harm I had done, step 8 took on a new meaning. I am no longer uncomfortable, and I feel clean and light. And the only way you do that is by actually owning up to your stuff, what you've done in your life and how it's gone. So for me right now, I feel okay, because if I hadn't crammed it into step 8, I'd have had to put it in step 10, which is doing a continuous personal inventory on a daily basis, just to see what's happening and where I might be going okay and where I might be failing. And in As Bill Sees It today, talking about Down to Earth, page 178, those of us who have spent much time in the world of spiritual make-believe have eventually seen the childishness of it. This dream world has been replaced by a great sense of purpose, accompanied by a growing consciousness of the power of God, or good conscience in our lives. And for me, it's very simple. The good conscience in my life, it is, or God in my life. I have an understanding. It's not some bolts understanding, just mine, and everybody can have their own understanding of God. On a daily basis, I might be an atheist, an agnostic, a believer, depending on my life experience. But what helps me most is to understand, as Gandhi said, God is truth, God is love, and someone else said, God works through people, and we get wisdom from other people, their experience, strength and hope on a daily basis. Anyway, I'm coming to the end of my time, and the gift for me, August 15th, I survived my birthday yesterday, only 53. And I shared it at a meeting. I wasn't going to, but I felt I could, because it's nice to have a milestone I can acknowledge these days rather than shut myself away. So the serenity prayer to God, or your understanding of God, or good conscience, how it goes. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is always just for today.